folks. We're back again. Another Tuesday, another learning lesson, something more that's going to stand out to you right now. This week we're going to still talk about investing. Some of the folks always think investing is always in houses and property and stuff, but we're going to get into this foreign currency crypto with Baba Mose here. That's gonna we love his avatar. That's gonna talk about how this thing started. I mean, what he learned. He didn't go and get no AA degree to learn about this crypto. He took the time. He invested. It works. It's really out there. So when we start talking about investing, and some people might frown on it because you don't know. It's okay, but we're gonna share the resource for you of why you should know and what you should know about it, so you won't alienate yourself to something else that's out there that can help you invest and build your legacy. As we've seen, crypto done took some hits. It done did well. We see millionaires out there. We see some other folks that's trying to figure it out to get it going. But we just gonna just go straight in, and we're gonna just ask about most. Man, tell us how you got started in this game. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Johnny B, can you hear me? Is my
Yeah,
sound
yeah, yeah.
good?
Yep, yep.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for inviting me. And, I've been a follower of creative financing for about a good 7 weeks, I want to say. And definitely the content is definitely valuable. And
Mhm.
it's valuable not only for people like myself, but for the community. So keep on doing what you're doing. I appreciate that. All right.
Thanks.
So the question was, how did I get into cryptocurrency and what is it? So
Mhm.
basically, I know people understand what Bitcoin is, or they at least heard of what Bitcoin is.
Mhm.
And there's many explanations to what cryptocurrency is. But the easiest explanation that I can give to describe what cryptocurrency is imagine a glorified Excel spreadsheet. You know what an Excel spreadsheet
Mhm.
is, right,
Yeah,
Johnny?
yeah. Remember those days?
Everyone does, right? Right. And usually, yeah, so usually on the spreadsheet, we keep information. It could be, accounts, it could be whatever, catalogs, whatever the information is, we could keep on the spreadsheet. So the blockchain or cryptocurrency, the blockchain is like the official name for cryptocurrency. So
Mhm.
I'll use both synonymously. The
Mhm.
blockchain is basically a service that everyone in the world has access to if it's a real cryptocurrency. And I'll talk about what that is later. So
Mhm.
that is basically what a cryptocurrency is. It is a ledger, account, a spreadsheet, whatever you want to call it, that is digital, and
Mhm.
that everyone that has access to this spreadsheet can see what goes in and what comes out. That's pretty
Mhm.
much a basic definition of what a cryptocurrency is. You following me?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's good stuff. So you're saying that we know
Okay.
what's a real cryptocurrency before somebody come and try to tell us this is it, and we don't see it on that list.
Gotcha. So I'm glad you asked that, Johnny. First of all, I want to say that there are 30,000 cryptocurrencies in the world today and counting. Of course, we know the most famous ones all or what they present as cryptocurrencies because they're either traded on cryptocurrency exchanges or, people are talking about them, like the meme coins, for example, the Shiba Inus and the Dogecoins. You know, that's how people are getting popularity or knowledge about them. But basically, there are some key currencies and what makes a poor cryptocurrency or we got to have another show about the philosophy to censorship and decentralization and all these big terms. But I know we don't got.
Hello, we might have lost you right there.
Oh, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep, yep. You're good. You're good.
Okay. So the last thing. Okay, cool. So one of the main thing that can determine whether it's a good cryptocurrency and opposed to a bad cryptocurrency is
Hmm.
whether or not it is open source or transparent. And what that means is I should have access to all parts of the blockchain. For example, Bitcoin, right? On the computer and the internet, I can go
Hmm.
on the Bitcoin network. I
Hmm.
can make transactions on the Bitcoin network. I know who moved $25 this day because it's open to everyone. I can see what goes on in the network. Now, it's very complicated. If you're not into, databases and computers and software like that, it can be very intimidating because it's not as user friendly as maybe using Facebook or Netflix. It's a lot of technical stuff you got to get into. But you know that it's a good cryptocurrency if there are no censorship. I have access to it. There's no administration to hold my coins or to censor me or to prevent me from taking out my money or putting in my money. I can use the network freely, right? So,
Hmm.
do you follow me with that? Any questions
Yeah,
about what I just said?
yeah, no, no, that's good. That's good information right there. For it. So you're able to
Okay.
see that to see what happens with the coin and stuff. If we had to question that, um, or to see how people are trading it. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. So let me give you an analogy, right? We
Okay.
all have a bank account, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what if you had $300,000 in your bank account? I mean, knowing you, Johnny B, you probably got 1.5 million. I know how you
I
roll.
wish.
But let's just say, you had a certain amount of money in your bank account,
Mm-hmm.
and you said to yourself, you know what? I want to take out $100,000 just
Mm-hmm.
because. Why not? It's my money, right?
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
you go to the bank, let's say you go to your M&T and you say, I
Mm-hmm.
want to take out $100,000, the first thing they're going to ask you is, Johnny B, why do you need $100,000 in cash? Are you being threatened or extorted? What are you going to do
Mm-hmm.
with all that money? Am I correct?
That's right. That's right. You gotta acknowledge
Okay.
what you're doing.
So that absolutely. So that's called censorship, right? That's an
Mm-hmm.
example of entity, i.e., the bank,
Mm-hmm.
taking control of my money, holding my money, and telling me how to use my money and when can I use my money. With the blockchain, because we don't have any so-called middlemen, we don't have any bankers or financial institutions, I can freely extract my money off the blockchain without any problems, without anyone asking me what do I need my money for or what am I
Wow.
going to do with it. I can do that because the blockchain is permissionless and censorship proof, right? You don't
Mm.
need permission to use Bitcoin. All you need is a computer and access to the Wi-Fi. Hell, you can even just use your phone and get access to the Bitcoin network or any other decentralized network. That's another buzzword, decentralization.
Efficient.
If your coin has an administration, like a team of so-called developers, or um, these people have control to the network, they could shut it down at any time. You want to stay away from coins like that because those coins are not decentralized, right? And I'm not going to be a hater. I'm not going to know you. Your guests might say, "Okay, well, Baba Mos, tell me what coins I shouldn't buy and should buy." And I'm not going to do that, Johnny, because I am not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you the key points on what to look for, and
Mm-hmm.
you make your own decision. Now, if you want, I I don't know if you might ask me, "Hey, Baba Mos, we family. Give me one coin that you looking at or whatever." I
Right.
might do that, but before we do that, let's get to the basics, right?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
So I see a question.
Yeah, yeah. So we
It
got
just
a couple of
popped on the
them.
screen.
We got, where should a first timer start if he wanted to invest in Bitcoins?
That is a great question. The easiest answer to that is Cash App is the easiest way to access the Bitcoin network. And I tell everyone, like first timers, the easiest thing you can do is what we call dollar cost averaging. And every week or whatever you can afford, buy $25, buy $75 worth of Bitcoin every week. Don't worry about the price. Don't worry about if it's going down or if it's going up. Just every week commit of, buying a small amount of Bitcoin. And that is the easiest way you can get into investing in Bitcoin. Now,
So
here's the problem
cash.
with just holding your Bitcoin on Cash App. Remember, we talked about permissionless, we talked about censorship, right? We also have to talk about self custody. What does that mean? Self
Mhm.
custody means that you have total control, and I'm talking about 110% control of your digital assets, i.e.,
Mhm.
your coins, right? If
Mhm.
you keep your Bitcoin on Cash App, whoever's running Cash App, when let's say Bitcoin, God willing, hits $2 million, that
Mhm.
means if you have 0.25 Bitcoin, do the math. 0.25 times 2 million, whatever that amount is, that's how much your Bitcoin would be worth.
Mhm.
And there's been times where third party custody will
Mhm.
shut down the network if people are withdrawing their money too fast. Like the GameStop, the GME stuff a couple of years ago in Robinhood. People were like, "Oh my goodness, this asset, this stock is going up. Let me take some money out, take some profits." And what did Robinhood do? Take out the withdrawal button so people couldn't even take out their money. And that's the danger
Right.
of keeping your money or your Bitcoin on Cash App because you do not have control of your digital assets. So after you buy your Bitcoin, your first amount, I would really do some research into self custody, getting a private wallet, transferring your Bitcoin from the Cash App to a private wallet where you have 100% control of your digital asset. So that's a great
Wow.
question. Cool.
Yeah, that's good. My next question they have: how is Bitcoin Cash different from Bitcoin?
That's a great question. So Bitcoin Cash is what they call a fork of a blockchain. Now I'm going to get technical. I'm not
Yes,
a
we got you. But
computer
break it down.
guy. I do not work for an IT company. I don't code. I don't do any of that. All of this stuff I learned from watching and reading. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So sometimes because blockchain is what they call open source, that
Mm-hmm.
means anyone can improve upon the software because Bitcoin is just code. It's just software. It's a bunch of zeros and ones, and it makes it work. It makes the money real. I don't know. It's real. It's imaginary money. Bitcoin is worth $110,000. But you know what? I prefer digital imaginary money in opposed to the real imaginary money. That's just my preference. But
Right, right.
anyway, going back to Bitcoin Cash. Sorry, I get on tangents. My bad,
Yeah,
Johnny. I'm going to
it's
do
good.
better.
It's good. It's good.
Bitcoin Cash is a fork of Bitcoin. Thank you. Bitcoin Cash is a fork of Bitcoin. So what that means is there were people who didn't agree with how the Bitcoin software was going. So what they did was they did a fork of Bitcoin and turned it into Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash has some of the same protocols of the regular, the real Bitcoin, but it has some differences. So
Mm-hmm.
if you had Bitcoin when Bitcoin Cash came out, you got Bitcoin Cash for free, and that's called the airdrop. So that's the main difference. They're two different cryptocurrencies, but
Mm-hmm.
one came out of the other. And that's not the only example. A lot of cryptocurrencies are forks of other cryptocurrencies.
Oh
Good
wow.
question.
Wow. Next question we have: how to keep your
Any other
crypto?
questions on deck
Yeah. How do you keep your
before I continue?
cryptocurrency? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Baba Mos, you there? So the next question we have is how to keep your cryptocurrency secure. You know, we
Right.
we got to look at
Hmm.
how do I protect this? I'm about to get this chunk of money. How do I protect that from anybody stealing it?
Yes. So the first thing is take your cryptocurrencies off Kraken or Coinbase or Gemini. And there's so many crypto currency exchanges that Americans can buy from because 5 years ago, 7 years ago, residents of the United States of America couldn't use a lot of the exchanges because, as you know, cryptocurrency wasn't regulated. So, but now, with regulation clarity, the SEC is putting more guidance into how cryptocurrencies should work, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the best way to keep your cryptocurrency safe is to take them off the exchanges first and to you put them in what we call a cold wallet. A cold wallet is a wallet where you can transfer your digital currencies off the network into essentially it's a jump drive or some
Mm-hmm.
type of USB storage device, and
Mm-hmm.
you can store your cryptocurrency safely offline, away from hackers, away from all those bad malicious people, bad actors, and you can keep it that way, right? That's the most securest way you can protect your cryptocurrency. The
Mm-hmm.
second most securest way is what we call a hot wallet. Hot wallets are wallets that are connected to the network. However, the person that owns the wallet has total autonomy of the wallet, or in other words, total control of the wallet. Now, the dangers of the hot wallet is you are susceptible to hackers. As
Mm-hmm.
long as you're on the network, you can be hacked. But
Mm-hmm.
the other thing is you are responsible for what we call the custody of your account or your assets. So
Mm.
when you open up a wallet, when you start a wallet, they give you what they call private keys. Private keys are your access to your wallet. These keys are generated by cryptography every time, right? And this is some high technical geek squad stuff, right? But when you get these keys, Johnny B, you are
Mm-hmm.
totally responsible for these keys because if you lose them, if you replace them, if God forbid your house burns down and where you wrote it down, it burned down on it, there is
Mm-hmm.
no way you can recover your assets. There is
Really?
no help desk that you can go to. There is there's no customer service because Johnny, this stuff is what we call trustless. This is not an organization. This is software.
Mm,
This is a computer, a network that we can interact with. And we happen to feel as a community that this digital asset called Bitcoin, using that as an example, has value. And because
mm,
we all believe it has value, that's why it's worth something.
mm.
And we store our value in the network to protect the network and to make the network stronger because the network is decentralized. Not one person controls Bitcoin, the network controls it. So
That's
that's
amazing.
why it's important when you get your private keys that you protect that with your life.
Right, 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 right. Get like a safe
Yeah.
deposit box or something, or something like that. So tell me, so when you have that money in that account, should you start pulling out portions of it at certain times, or how should you maneuver that when it start to increase?
That sounds like financial advice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right, 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 right. Yeah, so I'm just saying, do people just because you talked about earlier that they can that's on the if it's in like Cash App they can shut that down. But do you pull it out at a certain time, or I mean how long does it stay there? As long as you keep it there, or as long as you
well,
feel
that's a good question. Yeah, with Cash App, once you purchase your Bitcoin, you could pull it out immediately.
mm,
So once you get it, you can send it to your private wallet and bim bam boom. So yeah, there's no like time limits or
okay,
time of the day that you have access to your digital currencies. Whenever you buy it, I would suggest get it off a Cash App and put it in your personal wallet.
put it in a personal wallet and stuff for it. Next question we got: what are the pros of investing in this cryptocurrency?
Oh wow. Uh For me, I was a big proponent of decentralization.
Hmm.
And decentralization just basically means that no entity, government, or any power can shut down digital currency if it's a true digital currency.
Hmm.
At any time, we have money in the bank and we can lose our assets, and it could be something terrible that could happen, a war, a rumor of a war, and banks can do whatever they want with our money and we can't do anything about it. So what I think the benefits of digital currencies are, I have 100% control of my assets. I don't have to have any middleman to to
Say that again. We're looking at
Am I still
control.
here?
Yeah, yeah, you're still there. You're breaking up on me. So you would have control of your funds. You wouldn't have to go through that third party, as you were
Am I
saying.
back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back. You're back. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Yeah. So, folks, we talking
Yes.
about just controlling, um, and Baba Bosa was talking about just controlling his money.
Exactly, Johnny.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah, I can
bank.
hear you good.
Yeah, yeah. The bank doesn't have control of his money when he has his digital currency. So if he decides that he wants to go out there and probably buy a house, he can set up a platform to just go do that and buy that house without the bank having to give him a million questions for it and stuff. And a lot of folks talk about investing in that way because that's going to be a new way to invest in purchasing homes and items like that. So that's going to be key when you do this. A lot of our investors have mentioned about it. Crypto is going to be the way to probably go out here and not have to deal with a lot of banks after you saved up all your money and it's on this platform and everything. But it's a interesting. It's an interesting situation to be able to go out and start spending money, start using it. But I think the biggest pro, from what I understand, is just your independence. I like to call it your independence to controlling your money for this stuff.
Johnny, can you hear me?
Yep, yep, I can hear you loud and clear. You just on mute now. There
Okay.
you go.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry for your audience, my technical
Yeah,
difficulties. I had to adjust
yeah,
my mic.
yeah. So what other pros you have besides decentralization? You think?
Huh. To be honest with you, Johnny, that is it. The
Really?
decentralization is what sold me. I mean, another way, you can use cryptocurrency on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer. Just as long as you have access to the internet, you have access to your cryptocurrency as long as you are safe. But
Mhm.
you just got to keep in mind that you have to be totally responsible for your assets. No one else is responsible for what you do with your assets. If you
Mm,
decide to invest in a coin because your aunt, sister's friend's boyfriend told you,
mhm,
and you invest a substantial amount and you lose it all, you got to take those risks. So I want to tell your audience that cryptocurrency is not user friendly. It's very, very dangerous. You can lose all your money. So, whatever you invest in, make sure you believe in the asset that you're investing in and hold on to it. Don't try to day trade, don't try to leverage trade or anything like that unless you're really, really good in it, because you will lose your money if you participate in games like that.
mm. Yeah, that makes sense for it and stuff. Another question they have: what are the three cons or concerns about crypto people have? You think?
Number one, there is the biggest con in crypto are called pump and dumps. Okay, so the easiest explanation is you get a celebrity and you say, hey, the celebrity is saying, hey, you got to buy this new cryptocurrency because, oh my God, it's going to make millionaires overnight. And then you have what people call FOMO, fear of missing out. And so people are going to put in a lot of money because the celebrity is supporting it. And
Mm,
then, for about a good week, that crypto is going to go up like it's no one's business, 10%, 50%, 75%. And then people are going to put more money into it. And then it's going to go to zero the next
ooh,
day. and that's very, very common. Again, crypto is so unregulated that this happens a lot. So I would stay away from celebrities and people promoting coins
Mm,
unless you do your own research and you feel that this asset is going to, be big, right? The
mhm,
second type of crypto I would avoid are cryptos that have board of directors, administrators, um, dev teams that make promises about what their coin is going to do. I don't like cryptos that are still developing. I rather have a crypto that's completed, that's doing what it says it's going to do, and it doesn't need any more upgrades because it's just running on its own. So you want
mhm,
to find a crypto that is very autonomous, right?
mhm,
And the last thing is you want to find a crypto that is recognized by governments and agencies. Now, not all cryptos or cryptocurrency is very new. Ooh, did I lose everybody?
No, no, you're there. You're there. Hello?
Am I back?
Yep,
Okay,
you're back.
sorry. Being that cryptocurrency is really new, it's being regulated, right? So I would, follow the SEC, see what they say, what's a good crypto, the investing community in this country. So whatever the SEC, supports, I would support that as well.
Mm. So the SEC kind of go through that. What is the role of the transaction fees in cryptocurrency? How does that work?
Right. So the transaction fees are called gas fees, right? And that is the cost of doing business. So anytime you move Bitcoin from one wallet to another, they're going to take a little bit of your Bitcoin because it provides service to the miners or people that, are is going to approve or complete your transaction. It's like a fee. But the
Okay.
fee doesn't go to a centralized agency like a bank. The
Okay.
banks, they fee us all the time. They charge us
They
for
do.
printing out a receipt. I mean, it's ridiculous, the fees. So, crypto also has fees because, transactions have to be met. So that's what the purpose is. It's a fee to complete your transaction. Now,
Mm,
sometimes fees fluctuate because there might be the number of users on the network might influence the fees, but usually fees are very minuscule of what the actual asset you're sending is usually.
mm. That makes sense. So it's not like a bank where you have this autonomy of fees, that can be very overwhelming for it and stuff.
Yes,
Which is and tell me, the fees only comes from when you purchasing or withdrawing. Is that correct?
it's both.
It's both. Okay.
Anytime you move Bitcoin from wallet to wallet, there's
Hmm.
going to be a fee.
Mm, mm. Is that fee identified in a percentage, or is it just a certain amount of your investment? Because that's
No, well, it's identified in your transaction summary,
mhm, of how
right?
much it's going.
But again, it's the cost of doing business.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's going to happen whenever you move Bitcoin. So even if you cash it out, it's still going to require a fee, and
Mm,
that's with most cryptocurrencies. There's going to be a transactional fee, but it's only for moving one asset to another. There's no hidden fees. There's no hidden cost or anything like that. You don't have to pay a subscription membership. or anything like that. It's just you want to move some cryptocurrency, this is the
Hmm.
fee you're going to pay.
Pay for it. That makes sense. What is a stable coin? And you might have to enlighten me on that. The question about a stable coin. I guess some
Yeah.
coins are more
That,
stable than others, or
that's a good question. No, no, no. You're way off, Johnny. So, a stable coin is what we call in the crypto world coins, cryptocurrencies that are pegged to a governmental or fiat currency, like the US dollar, for example. Every government, whatever country you go to, they have their version of stable coins, right? So you
Mhm,
go to the UK, they have a stable British pound or whatever they're using. There's a stable coin that's in the euro. So whatever the euro is, or let's keep it easy. Whatever the dollar is, that's going to
mhm,
be that stable coin. Okay? So there's many different types of stable coins out there. There's USDC, there's USDT, there is Circle, there's so many, but what a stable coin is pegged to whatever that fiat currency is. Now, the reason why we have stable coins in cryptocurrency is because cryptocurrency is very volatile, right? Bitcoin used to be a penny, if you could believe it,
mhm,
but it was. Now it's $100,000, right? So it's very volatile. What stablecoins does for the investor is you can transfer your digital assets into stablecoins holding the value of your money. Does that make sense?
mhm, mhm, mhm. That makes sense. Wow. So yeah, that's
Right.
something new.
So
So
it's just stablecoins as long as they're backed by, so I'm sorry, stablecoins as long as they're backed by reputable sources
mhm,
will always have a value pegged to the dollar or whatever the fiat currency is.
mhm, mhm. And what is a reputable source when you mention that?
Okay. So if you are looking to buy a stable coin,
Mhm,
make sure whoever is issuing that stable coin has
mhm.
real money in the bank, right? I use a stable coin called Link.
Mhm,
And I forget it was just taken off and it was connected to a stable coin. So the stable coin is always $1, right? So people was
mhm,
transferring their wealth from their cryptocurrency to the stable coin. But one day the stable coin, when they looked up, instead of $1, the stable coin was 60 cent. And then the stable coin dropped all the way to 23 cent. So that stable coin wasn't backed by nothing. So it lost its value.
mm,
So make sure that your stable coin, whoever's issuing that stable coin, has money backed in it. All right.
mm.
I think that's the only rule that you should use. Make sure, you know, it's always
Make sure it's something behind it. It can lean on something.
that's right.
For so
That's
so
right.
the next question somebody asks is which wallet is best for crypto, or how many wallets is it out there? Is it so many, or
Yes. There are thousands of wallets. So, not financial advice.
mm-hmm,
I'm not a techie, but
mm-hmm.
I would recommend the Trezor. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Um, the Trezor wallet,
Mm-hmm.
and the what's the other wallet? You have your private keys. You never want to get a wallet where you don't have access to your private keys. Because if someone has access to your private keys, they have access to your wallet. So Trezor is the top one that I would recommend for a cold wallet. For a hot wallet, I would recommend Atomic Wallet, and I'll put it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very good hot wallet because it provides custody for multiple chains. The
Mm-hmm.
last time I checked, there was like 800 chains that they provide custody to. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to have the cryptocurrency that you want. So that's a great hot wallet to have.
Atomic and Trezor wallet, and we can get that going across the
Mm-hmm.
screen in a minute. Are cryptocurrencies taxable to where?
Yes,
Oh,
they are
oh wow.
taxable as long as you, yeah, they are taxable as long as you, they become taxable when you take it into the real world. So when you cash out your cryptocurrency, that's income. I'm not a CPA. I don't pretend to be one. But every time you cash out from your investments, you have to do a special tax form. I don't know, ask your
Mhm,
accountant or chat GPT. But
mhm.
yes, it's definitely taxable when you cash out. But if you make money on the blockchain, that's not taxable. It's only taxable when you cash out.
Only when you cash out. That's all. That's good to know. And
Right. Not no financial advice, Johnny B. I'm not an accountant, so check my math.
right, right, right. We just need to know that we need to check with the CPA or a tax professional to see how that's going to affect, because everybody's going to be
Yes.
different. Everybody's taxes is going to be
Please.
different, and everybody's going to have to do that. So you have to take the time to say, hey,
Right.
accountant, tax professional, listen, I got X amount of dollars from this crypto. I know I got to pay taxes on it. Show me what I need to do. Show me the forms
Yep.
I need to fill out. Show me how I make sure I stay
Yeah. And you
above
know
the law.
another thing, Johnny?
What's that?
A- And another thing is a lot of CPAs are really not familiar with cryptocurrency. For example,
Mm,
my CPA, when I told them and I had all this money that I cashed out. I'm like, listen, I have these funds, and of course, I have to report it. And my CPA was like, "Where did you get this money from?" I got it off the computer. So it came off the computer. Is this make believe money? And this was my CPA. So don't be surprised if your CPA has no clue
what to
what
do.
cryptocurrency is and you might have to educate your CPA on what that is.
And that's important.
Mhm.
Long and I tell everybody, long as you have the information for it, they need to do the research. They're the professionals that we pay to make sure they keep us above the law, for it, and keep us honest out here when we're doing this stuff. The question is, what is the purpose of a test net in the crypto world? For that's the first time I heard that. Are you there, Baba Mos? You know,
Yes,
before,
sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah. What's the purpose of a test net in the crypto world?
Jesus, where are you getting these questions from, bro?
That's his audience out here. I mean, they ask some hard ones,
Okay.
and I don't
I'm
even have a
going to
clue.
explain it like you're 5 years old.
Right.
kinks where they work out whether or not the cryptocurrency is going to do what it says it's going to do. They do that all on sometimes the general public because it's open source software. The general public can experiment and pretend, to be on the test net in anticipation of the main net. So the test net is the precursor. So that's what the importance is. And sometimes after they launch the main net or the main blockchain, they will still keep the test net if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense for the stuff. So a test net is just an online um type of product. Am I on the right page?
It's just the prototype for the real thing.
Okay, you broke up there a little bit.
It's and then the main net is when it's showtime, and that's when no more developers. It just runs on its own,
Mm,
and
for
it's
the stuff.
totally autonomous.
Okay. What's the difference between cryptocurrency and tokens? When I think of tokens, I think of when we went through the train style in New
I'm
York.
here.
Yeah, I said, what's the difference between cryptocurrency and tokens? I was saying that the only difference I know is that tokens we used to put in the turnstiles in New York and stuff. But what's our difference there?
Right. Okay. Your main token on the blockchain. So let's use, am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back. We lost him for a second there, folks. He'll be back
Right.
on. But
So tokens are different than from coins. Coins are the main cryptocurrency on a network. Coin. And Ethereum has a bunch of tokens. I don't know. So the coin is the main source that funds the network, and tokens are subsidiaries of the coin,
okay.
if that makes
So
sense.
yeah, so a token is a subsidiary of the cryptocurrency. Is that correct? Did because I think you broke up there on us a little bit. Yeah, for the stuff. But folks, this is I know our connection's breaking up some, but this is some good information to have for investing with the cryptocurrency and what it does and how it works for it. We always have to look through our systems to figure out what's really going on. Is it legitimate for it? I want to put a disclaimer out there that if you can't lose it, don't try it. So
That's right.
you have to be able to afford this. It have to be affordable. Mr. Deep put how many Bitcoin? How can Bitcoins lucrative? What is the major benefit towards taking home funds? Mr. Deep, that's a good question. Did you get that, Babamos? Or we lost your connection there.
The only benefit is its volatility, and it is one of the most appreciated assets in the history of mankind. So that's all I got. It's very risky. It's
Mhm.
extreme. You can, I mean, we've all seen the price of Bitcoin go up and down. We remember when Bitcoin was $3,000. We remember when Bitcoin was $100. It's extremely volatile, but with great risk comes great reward. I don't know if that's the saying. Is
Yeah,
that a Batman or whatever,
yeah.
Spider Man? I don't know. So if you want to get into Bitcoin, like Johnny said, uh, please don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Hmm.
This is really still unregulated. So I would dollar cost average. That's the safest way to get a position dollar cost averaging.
Right, right, and that makes sense to make sure we take that risk and we understand what we're getting into for it. Is it a great investment? It is if you learn how to manage it for it. Do it have risk? It has risk, just like going to work every day. Uh, and what we need to what we need to remember that these are other types of investments you might want to sit down and do your research on. You have to sit down and take the time to see what really happens in this world. And people might say, hey, this is going to be a wave of the future, for how we're going to invest instead of 401ks and 403bs and stuff like that. But be prepared to understand what is the benefit of it. You're talking about most where he went out, he took his risk. And so that's what we have to understand. He took his risk. He did good with it. Some people took their risk and they lost everything. So the question is, um, what type of research, what type of studying you're going to do to make sure you know how to best and better invest that money that you're going to spend, because we have to look at investments as long terms.
I
Um,
would go to
and where would we go to there, Babamos?
I would check out Twitter, and I know you might be saying Twitter for investment information. Cryptocurrency is new. So a
Hmm.
lot of the grassroots information about what the project is or what it's supposed to do, you can get it on Twitter first. And then the second place I would go
Mm.
to is YouTube, because again, a lot of developers they put their information on YouTube.
Hmm. Hmm. I won't go. I can't use Instagram. I mean, why can't I use Instagram? I might find some information, huh? How reliable you believe that is?
I would not use Instagram. No, I would stay away from Instagram, bro. Twitter, YouTube.
Twitter, YouTube, you heard it there. So y'all have two good resources there to kind of figure that out and study and kind of examine and I mean test it out, folks. I want to just keep saying this. Don't go in there and start pulling 40 or $50,000 out your 401k and drop it in this thing, um, and and go from there. But take the time to do the homework to check it out. Um, We also have to. Somebody said, "What about Reddit?" They might have some good information there for it and stuff, and go from there. But we
I
have another.
agree. Reddit definitely, yeah, Reddit definitely has good information because Reddit is like a grassroots but there's a lot of scams on Reddit as well. Also Telegram, they also that's a good source of information as well. But
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, for it. And that type of stuff is important for it. And another question we have: what is your take on the future of mem coins and stuff?
meme coins.
Meme coins. Yeah, yeah. You know what I meant. I'm glad you're a good mind reader.
I sure did. So meme coins are they can have value, but only if people believe that they're valuable. A lot of these meme coins they don't have any utility. They're not promising anything. They're not financial tools or anything that we do in the real world. They're going to transfer to the digital world. They're just novelties, and people get behind them and trade them. And sometimes the value goes up. Like in the case of 25 cent, and right now Dogecoin is 22 cent or something like that. But
Mm,
they're very, very risky investments. I would not get into if I was to get into meme coins, I would get into meme coins when they first come out. I would not try to FOMO in or try to invest money if it's already, have a high market cap or anything like that. But if you have some information and you did your research and there's a meme coin that's just coming out, I would get into it then. But I would not really invest my hard-earned money in meme coins. Now, if you want to put $100 in it, see what happens. There's nothing wrong with that, but be careful.
be careful. Be careful. At your own risk. you know, of what's going on here, folks. I think that's great information for because we see so much happening in our economy today, where people looking to invest and what they're going to do. I mean, this is great knowledge to sit down, read, indulge. Take a little step at a time until you get that comfort level, and guess what? Come back out and reanalyze it, and do your homework. Really look at the risk that you're taking, and don't take a big risk, unless you feel very comfortable with it, but you have to look and see what is really upholding here for it. It's a wonderful thing to invest, how to use our money, when to use it, and everything. But I'm going to tell you right now that the best investment is a knowledgeable investment. And when you're knowledgeable and you can take the risk, it works out perfectly. Babamos, you have any closing words for us before we go? Man, I appreciate you coming on, shedding this knowledge on us, and giving us a little advice so we can do some research and we can look into some stuff. And for it, I hope we didn't lose our signal with him. But as I said, we
I'm still
appreciate.
here. I'm still here.
Yeah, I say if you can give us some closing words for our audience.
Yeah. DYOR, do your own research.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, if you really don't trade it, just hold it and see what happens.
That's it. That's it. You got it. Folks, man, we always passing on these resources. I mean, you have to utilize them accordingly. Do not go out here and think that you're going to figure it out in one day. Take the time to do it. We appreciate it. Man, I appreciate Babamos. I thank him again for coming on with us. But this Creative Finance with JB investment crypto this week, you just picked up something else to put in your playbook so you can start doing your research and your work. And always remember, investments is the key to your future. Man, y'all have a good night, and we'll see you again next week.